Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gyms 4 weekly preview for the week of February 6th, 2023. So let's get into it with the Soulforge. See what's in here. What can I recommend? Are there any mythics you should craft? Let's see. I haven't looked at this yet. We got Leo. We have the Scourge of Honor, King Bloodwood, and Queen of Sin. So the number one here is the Scourge of Honor. It's like somewhere, it's like a B tier, I would say, maybe B minus. It's good and it's usable, and people do use it, and it's true damage to all enemies. So whenever it's available and certain restrictions, it's a really good option. You can 50% start it with Wild Folk. You could double up on it. You could put it with like Merilith, stuff like that. But King Salinas, either Double Scourge or Merilith or something, really good because all true damage to all enemies. And it's somewhere like just under, I would say, Phoenicia, Sycorax, Flaming Oni, somewhere like just under that, I would say. So up to you if you have all the top 10s. This would be one of those good ones that you're still like shooting for, maybe you're missing, and super solid. If it was like your first one ever, it would be pretty decent. But we got 22 red, green, brown, Cinemirage, Daemon, Wildfolk. Deal true damage to all enemies. Gain 2 mana back for each cursed or diseased enemy. Curse and disease a random enemy with magic 4 or more gems. Explode a green gem at the start of battle. So it has, you know, a couple things going for it. Curse and disease, it kind of makes its own boost ratio. It has explode a green gem at the start of battle. That's the least you want to see for a good trait. And gains 2 mana back for each cursed or diseased enemies, while doing true damage to all enemies. So it's a super solid mythic. Next would be what? We got King Bloodwood, Queen of Sin, and Leo. I would say King Bloodwood would be next. He's nothing too special, like a C+. Better than average, but not in the conversation for top 20 or anything like that. 23 yellow, green, brown, Forest of Thorns, Elemental Fae. Deal heavy splash damage to an enemy boosted by entangled and bleeding enemies. Steal 10 life from all enemies. The reason I don't say the number, the purple number there, is because that's based on your magic. So your number would probably be different, so it just doesn't help me to tell you my number. It entangles and inflicts bleed on a random enemy with matching 4 or more gems. It has reduced damage from skulls by 33%. So it does some stuff. It's really good. Like, it's better than average. Like I said, it's a above average mythic. Probably even slightly better than that. That would be number 2. Now we gotta choose between Leo and Queen of Sin. Deal damage to an enemy. It's kind of Duke. It does have a couple percentages for spell and skull. I'm gonna say Queen of Sin's probably better than Leo. 20 green, blue, yellow, Cinemirage, Daemon Mystic. Deal true damage to the first 2 enemies. Summon Wrath or Lust, then bless all Daemon allies. Nothing special for its traits. That's kind of what drags it down a bit. No good traits. And it's only hitting 2 enemies, and then it could summon Lust instead of Wrath. Like, if it would always summon Wrath, and if it would hit, like, more than 2 enemies, it would be pretty good. And it's not terrible. It's, like, below average. Maybe super average. Something like that. But definitely not as good as King Bloodwood or the other one, Scourge of Honor. Okay, so last would be Leo. So if you don't have any of the other ones, then you shouldn't craft Leo. Unless you have all 3 of the other mythics, you should not craft Leo. 21 yellow, green, purple, Pride Lands, Raksha Beast. Deal damage to an enemy and gain armor, both boosted by all enemy magic. Like, who cares if that's, like, a ton of armor, and who cares, you know, if it's, a ton of damage. If you're only hitting 1 enemy, and it's doing nothing else. So, pretty bad. One of the worst, astrological mythics, I would say. Let's check out the legendaries. We got Keeper of Souls, Queen Grapplepot, Segoro, and Smashed Mouth. So, nothing there. I probably don't even need to go over them. Really nothing to write home about. Keeper of Souls is, like, maybe the best one. Yeah, there's nothing too great there. I wouldn't even talk about them, really. They're all, like, super average to below average to bad. Alright, weapons. Do we have anything? Staff of Storms. Okay, so it's a Suncrest week. So that means you're looking for your triple finesse weapon. We got Nimbus Bow here, my favorite, which is deal damage to an enemy boosted by Strix allies, then create a mix of blue and yellow gems for each Strix ally. So you got 2 weapons you could use with the triple finesse team, triple guardian team, the best guardian team in the game. And one is good for building your stats up and like getting it done quicker. Like if you have no problems at all, none of your finesses are ever dying, I think Nimbus Bow is the best way to go. And if you're like a really early beginner that just got your finesses and you're having trouble with one of them dying maybe, then the Staff of Storms might be the way to go, because it has a summon, it gives you a little positive status effect. So like beginners would use Staff of Storms, and people that are not so scared would probably use Nimbus Bow. But Staff of Storm's still really good, and I wouldn't blame you for using it. Explode yellow gems, grant a random status effect to all Strix allies, then summon a Strix troop. I'm just more inclined to get a bunch of extra turns to build my stats with the Nimbus Bow than I am to like be scared and do an explode and have a summon. Plume Staff is okay. Yellow and purple for Suncrest. I think that's about it. It's really the story of the Nimbus Bow and the Staff of Storms here. So your ultimate order for this would be Scourge of Honor is the best thing in the whole Soulforge, probably. And then Nimbus Bow, and then Staff of Storms. No good legendaries, and the best mythic is not a top, definitely not a top 15. Probably not a top 20. So you might even go with Nimbus Bow or Staff of Storms first, and then Scourge of Honor. But it's one of those. One of those 3 things. Scourge of Honor, Nimbus Bow, Staff of Storms. If you're going to craft anything, I would say I wouldn't leave this week without at least one of the 2 weapons. Okay, so we have the world event. I have videos. I'm going to link one of them at the end of this video on the world event scoring and the world event teams. The teams are really strong and awesome. You should check them out. The scoring is convoluted and confusing. You should check it out. Help Suncrest defend against the Stormcrows and other evil birds gathering to attack it. Collect weapons and allies to help in the defense. We got a Medal of Shadows, 160% spell damage for all troops in the current events. You're going to want to hit all enemies with AoE damage if possible, and it's more than possible. You have tons of options for that. Harpy Mage, shout out to Harpy Mage. You probably want to use that on your team, and then you have a bunch of AoE options. Check out my video. The scoring is kind of confusing. You wouldn't be able to guess the order, so definitely check out my video on that. And always collect your rewards and make sure you have a medal. I always want to start with at least a medal. I don't like starting with like a token or a badge. I don't like starting with a badge. I'd rather have a medal to start. But up to you. I would say do tier 2 is always a safe option, because you get the explode and the enchant potion. And then just go from there. You don't have to have a medal to start. You'll get one eventually. Just keep collecting your rewards. Buy up to like tier 2 for now, and then go from there. You might have to buy tier 3, you might have to buy tier 4. But I think a good idea would be to start with tier 2 and go from there. Alright, yeah, but check out those videos if you need the team or the scoring. I'll link one of them at the end, and they're both super short. You could, watch them both in like 10 minutes. So we got the world event done and the Soulforge done. Let's go check everything else out. I like to do this as early as possible because it doesn't make sense later. Alright, late is the hour. New ultra rare troop, Stormcrow. Get this troop with glory from the rewards tab of the shop. A Chaos of Crows. Experience our new world event with your guildmates. Play world event battles every day to unlock rewards. See how we already talked about that? That's why I want to do it as early as possible. Window of Spirits. The campaign has started. New rewards every week. Don't miss out. So that just started. We got a long time for that. New Mythic Troop, Wrath Amon, exclusive to Glory, Gem, Guild, and VIP chests for 1 week only. I think the most important thing about that, some people don't know that that is the only Mythic in the drop table right now, so you should not use your Glory keys, your Gem keys, your Guild seals if you're going for other Mythics. You're only going to get Wrath Amon, and it's kind of just like above average. It's not bad. It's not a bad Mythic, but it's like a Wild Queen, a Wild King, but a defensive version, so kind of strange in my opinion. It's got like a cleanse, which is always nice when you're doing skull spam, so in case you're entangled or something, it can cleanse it off. But, you know, when you're going with like one of those type of teams, you're kind of going all offense, and it's kind of strange to me that it has like a defensive thing on it. When would you ever use it if you have access to Wild Queen and Wild King? and it's just not as effective, but it's still real, you know, it's not bad. I don't want to poop on it. Week of Suncrest. All Suncrest troops gain 10% to skills. Week of Strix. All Strix gain 10% to their skills. And bonus gold. Use the Stormcrow and PvP and Explore to gain 400 gold. Never really worth doing that last thing. Okay, the shop is next. Gotta get these Spoils of War. Even though I never use my event keys, I just want to be a good example, and it's just a good trade-off. Trading glory for event keys. Alright, I already got my Stormcrows because I wanted to make sure I didn't need it for the event when I made the teams for the world event. But we got a Stormcrow, ultra rare. It's 11 brown, purple, Suncrest Strix. Deal damage to an enemy, then gain reflect. Sounds pretty bad. Like, why would you ever want that? It has 2 Dark Storms, which is the first time I've ever seen that. Summon a Dark Storm when an enemy dies, and summon a Dark Storm at the start of battle. What a waste. It's kind of a waste. I wish it had a different trait there. Yeah. Pretty much a big waste of a troop. But you get Arcane Skull trait stones. How many do you get? You get 1 per. I don't know why I bought one to see that, but let's go check that out. Was it purple, brown? Purple and brown trait stone. So let's go see what troops you could fully trait with that trait stone. That's why you save up glory. That's why I have over 1 million glory. Saving up, not anymore, but I used to be saving up for trait stones. Purple and brown. All color. Base rarity. And then show all. And let's see what we got. Our Proxy Yavendra. Doom of Arachnia. So you could get that fully traded. Got Ferris Ra, Necro Master, Obsidious, Earthquake, Chernabog with the Dust Plume, Yasmin's Chosen with the Wild Vines, Glaceon has Ice Armor. Anything else here? Matron Dragatoni has 75% spell reduction, which is the highest in the game. You don't really use her very often, though, so it's not like... Experiment. Inflict a random status effect on 4 or 5 gym matches. Bone Golem has a 50% skull reduction. Daughter of Ice is empowered. Is there anything else? Seems like a pretty ho-hum stone, in my opinion, here. Got Drake Rider, that 100% chance to summon a Drake on death. That's more like a annoying thing when you're fighting it than a helpful thing on your offense. Got Clockwork Sphinx for your very, very early Rowan teams. Got Excavator, who's a decent bounty troop. That's about it. Goblin Shaman for your very, very early Goblin teams, but it doesn't really need to be traded, so... Yeah, nothing too special here. Might be one of the weakest stones. We got that Empower. We got Daughter of Ice. We got Glaceon. We got Chernabog. Really, that's about it. Nothing else is super... Like, Obsidious you don't really need anymore because of Elementalist. Ferris Ra you don't really need anymore because of Ironhawk. Arc Proxy Avendra is probably the best thing that uses the stone, even if it does, because, like, Mythics have 3 colors, so you always have to check. But yeah, that's the stone. Then we have a, Suncrest week, so let's see what event keys will bring you. So we're gonna go to base rarity, go to Suncrest. Can't wait till there's one of these that I actually need. Like, I need a Medusa. Alright, so this is pretty good. We got Phoenicia. So if you've been looking for Phoenicia, but saving event keys just for Phoenicia, now is your time. But it's the only good thing here. So it's one of those. Really top-heavy, one good troop, and you would have to get it to make it worth it. So If you're waiting for Ironhawk, if you're waiting for High King Iron Gut, if you're waiting for like Arachnian Weaver or anything else like that in the top 10, you might want to keep waiting. If you don't have 2 or 3 Nisha medals, you might want to keep waiting, because Phoenicia kind of needs her Nisha medals. She's bougie. She's a top 20 mythic, but she needs something to work properly. So continue saving your event keys if you don't have at least 2 Nisha medals. Continue getting Nisha medals until you do. If you don't have all the top 10s, I would continue waiting. But Phoenicia, if it's like your thing and you just got your second Nisha medal, you've been waiting for Phoenicia because you've been watching people use it, the Fogmag team, and you're just this is your time and you've been waiting and saving up event keys, then here you go. But otherwise, I mean, Quel'Zama's not the worst consolation prize ever. Like, it's a solid mythic, but it's not anything close to Phoenicia. We got High Priestess Chazka, not bad. Queen Zachi's an underworld legendary, super easy to get, good in the event. Harpy Mage, cool, but can't get it with event keys, just like Queen Zachi. So some of the better troops here are just underworld. Swan May is kind of underrated. And then everything else is like super easy to get. You're not going to want to use event keys. So it's a very top heavy, just for Phoenicia, event key drop table. Alright. Let's see what else is going on this week. How'd y'all do in your Guild Wars? Did you do okay? What do you think of the new Mythic? Put that stuff in the comments. Here, I want to strike a deal with y'all. If you're going to skip an ad, while you're skipping the ad, go ahead and click the like button or subscribe. Like, you're already clicking something, just go down a little bit, click the like while you're doing that. Let's make a little trade-off. If you're going to skip an ad, go ahead and click the like. Like, I think that's a fair trade. I do that, I'll do it too. Whenever I watch somebody else's video. If I hit skip, I'll also hit like while I'm doing that. Or subscribe. Let's make a deal here. More than 50% of y'all aren't subscribed. If you're going to skip an ad, go down there and hit the subscribe for me, please. At least hit the like. Leave a comment. The more times you skip, like, do something else. Oh, I skipped an ad, I'm going to hit subscribe. Oh, I skipped an ad, I'm going to hit like. Oh, I skipped another one, I'm going to comment. Just a little trade-off, please. Would appreciate it. Been kind of a slow week for me. Anyway, we got, today, of course, you're going to do your campaign. You're going to get started on your world event. Tomorrow, we have the Faction Assault. So, we'll be making a video on that. Stonesong Eerie. Wednesday, we got a pet. Looks like Moa, I think its name is. A Suncrest pet. Thursday, we got Stormcaller. Pretty much only good for the Triple Finesse team. You can use it for other things here or there. But mostly, you're going to use it for your Triple Finesse Nimbus Bow or Triple Finesse Staff of Storms. And then this weekend, it says we have Bounty. 3 days, 19 hours. But the devs also said we have a Vault event. So I'm not 100% sure on either one of those. The game, Heron's World says we have Bounty. The game says we have Bounty. Bounty Troop is coming in on Friday. All signs point to Bounty. But the dev on the forums, buried deep in a random topic, a random thread that doesn't have anything to do with the Vault, said we're going to have a Vault on February 11th. So, I don't know. Not sure. Let's check out the campaign, and then we'll get out of here. Venture Board, more gems. Venture Board's had lots of gems lately. For my Guild Wars, I went undefeated all week and then lost twice on the last day. Freaking sucked. I wasn't going to get, like, Paragon anyway, I don't think, unless I scored out of my mind on the last day, but that's my silver lining. Alright, the Wargare Inari told us they had heard from the spirit world that a group of Stormcrows were set to attack Suncrest. Exactly why, or what interest that was to the Wargare spirits, we were uncertain, but we headed to Suncrest regardless. Intrepid Explorer, when Explorer runs in Suncrest at difficulty 2 or higher. Treasure Hunter. Most worthless game mode in the whole game that has nothing to do with Gems of War. Brawler, so much easier. Like, why wouldn't you skip Treasure Hunt? Now I just have to win a battle. Let's do this one because it's so easy to do. And I could show you the next one. Since we're not super interested in campaign task videos, I can just show you a couple of the first ones. Suncrest Champion. You could probably do that in the World event, and this one in the World event. Or you could just, you know, Suncrest on difficulty 2 is pretty easy. Just run your Rowan. So it wouldn't be too hard to do those 3 things. And we're getting some attack. I forgot to go over this last time, so let's go over this. We're getting some, you know, it's a new campaign, so let's go over everything that we're going to be getting in this campaign. We got Never Call, that's our pet for this campaign. Little fat crow. Get more copies there. Raven set, more copies. VIP key, more copies of the pet. Alright, here's the weapon. Create 6 red gems, then convert all red gems to spirit gems. Not terrible. I guess it depends what it has on its tempering. Got a portrait. More pets. Cursed runes. The High Priestess. Create a spirit gem. There is a 7% chance to gain an extra turn for each yellow gem on the board. Not the greatest ever. Definitely no Empress or Emperor. King of Ravens. 24 blue, purple, yellow, Glacial Peaks phase Strix. Explode all purple gems and spirit gems. Deal damage to the last 2 enemies boosted by spirit gems. Dang, I was hoping that was going to be like a Flaming Oni deal. Does not look good. I mean, at least it's hitting 2 enemies, I guess. It doesn't sound terrible. And yeah, that's about it. So that's the mythic, the weapon, the pet for the campaign. And that's it for this one. Please hit that like, especially if you're skipping ads. Definitely hit something. That'll be our deal. Like, that's a little handshake that we do, handshake deal that we do. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. Helps a lot. Tell your guild about the channel, comment below. And I will see y'all next time. Faction event video. Peace.